He bought her a whole house and she looked at him like he brought her a foreclosed notice. If that sounds crazy, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe, because around here, we just don't react. We break it down with logic, receipts, and a little bit of heat.
Where are we? Who house?
It's our house, babe. I just bought it.
This house?
This house, babe. What's wrong with
This not the house we agreed on. Why would you do that?
This is what I could afford, babe. I bought this because it's what I could afford.
You care about me being happy or you being happy? Because I'm not happy with this. This is not what you was supposed to have bought.
I care about both of us being happy, and you're not making no payments.
I don't care about that. I'm not gonna want to stay here. I'd rather stay where we are now.
Bro was standing there with a bow on the house. He just won The Price is Right, and she looked at him like he handed her a Motel 6. She said, "This isn't what I wanted, ma'am. This isn't a Build-A-Bear. This is real estate. Who raised y'all?"
Well, where we at now? Where we at right now? We renting this. We own in here. The property value can go up.
No,
you ain't even seen the inside.
I don't want to see the inside. To me, it look no. To be honest,
what's wrong with this house?
It's small. Look at that little window. It's small.
Is a man ever allowed to make a big move like this without his woman's approval? Or is he just signing up to be the villain either way? Drop your answer in the comments. I'm reading all of them.
I don't even want to be here. And then you talking about some that you can afford it. Like, you can afford better than this.
You don't spend all your money on the house, babe. You got to keep something in the bank.
And we have enough in the bank to get something better than this. This is not what I expected to how I wanted to live my life. Certain enough for my kids.
You gonna help me pay the bills, babe?
No.
So then what?
She said she wanted a dream home. What dream? The one you saw settling sunset, or the one y'all could actually afford without robbing the bank? I hate to break it to you, sweetheart, but that man bought you stability, not a fantasy. Some of y'all treat marriage like luxury car leads. You want the top tier package with zero down and no maintenance.
I've been with my husband for almost 20 years, but about 3 years ago, I was strongly considering divorce, and I want to talk to you about why. So I'm going to tell you the story of the day where I thought to myself, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. My husband and I had 4 kids. We both worked full time. We had been together for 16 years at this point. We've been together since high school. And on paper, I have an amazing husband. He is incredibly supportive. He's kind. He's loyal. He's a great dad. He's very hands-on. He's an active participant. He's always present. On paper, what else could I ask for? But in reality, my experience is very similar to the experience of other women.
The question is, what do you mean by on paper? That means he's scratching off all the boxes that you're going to want out of a man. He's a good guy. He's everything that every woman wants. At least they say so.
I had this amazing husband who on paper was great, but I was incredibly frustrated and burnt out from our marriage and from motherhood. Because what happens to so many of us is that we marry these amazing men and we have amazing relationships, and then we have kids. And when we have kids, women tend to carry a disproportionate amount of the work in the home, the work of raising kids, and the mental load. And that is exactly what happened to us.
But keep in mind, you're also playing Miss Independent at the same time. You're dealing with stress of children, raising children, but you're also dealing with the stress of going to work. Why not downsize your lifestyle so you could stay at home or get a part-time job so you're not so stressed out? Because I'm pretty sure 4 kids, somebody wanted a big family. Now you regret it.
About 3 months after my 4th baby was born, I remember looking at my husband and saying, I need more. I need you to do more. I am exhausted. I am in charge of everyone and everything in this house. Every night when we cook dinner, you ask me what to make. Every day when you drop off the kids at daycare, you ask me what they need in their backpacks. I am the project manager of this home and I need you to do more.
So you mean to tell me he's going to work and dropping them off at school? He's just asking you what you want to do in order to keep from making you mad, and you want him to do more? I'm thinking you're doing real women responsibilities, but your husband's doing your responsibilities.
And he looked at me and he said, just tell me what to do, right? Every woman has heard this. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And I said, something that would make my life easier is if in the mornings when I came downstairs with the 4 kids, because I do mornings by myself, the dishwasher was emptied, The dishes were put away and the trash was taken out. That would make my life so much easier, because when I've got the 4 kids running around and the baby crying, I can't be looking for their favorite water bottle in the dishwasher. I just need to know it's clean. And he said, of course, what? Yeah, I'll do that. That's no problem. And so of course he does it, but then I have to remind him, and then he forgets, and then I have to remind him again. And there was this one morning where I woke up and I went to put something in the trash and it was overflowing. I went to get my son's water bottle and it was in the dishwasher with all the other clean dishes. And I felt so disrespected and unseen and unvalued at that point in time. And I remember texting my husband being like, what happened? Why didn't you do this? And he said, sorry, I was running late for work. And I remember thinking, oh my God, he doesn't see me, because what he's done has now made me late for work. And he doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about the impact on me. And he doesn't see how every single thing in our home happens because I ask him to do it, or because I do it myself, or because I planned and organized it. The diaper bag is full because I filled it, right? I put the wipes in there. And I felt so frustrated. And I remember thinking, what's the point? What's the point of doing this with someone else? I might as well just do it alone.
Do it alone? That sounds like an idiot. You and all these single mothers running around here thought the same thing, that if I get rid of the man, my life would be a lot easier because he's not listening to me. Do you understand how much stress he's under? Especially if you're making this video, I could just imagine what he's going through. Why didn't you work a part-time job so you could sit at home and take care of the kids and take the load off? Because he's probably thinking the same thing. But you're competing with your husband while you're in the relationship. That's why you feel like you could do it on your own. He's probably so stressed out, he's forgetting everything to do. He's just happy to get away from you.
And it's not because my husband didn't love me or he did anything to me, and it's not because I didn't love him, but because I felt so taken advantage of in our relationship. And this dynamic, it doesn't happen by accident, right? It's not like my husband did it to me, but we've been raised in this society that tells men and women who they should be in marriages and what it looks like to be a good mom versus a good dad. And we know the bar for moms is way up here and the bar for dads is way down here. And we fell into these norms. We fell into these roles in our family despite the fact that we never wanted to. And I'm lucky, and I say lucky because I have a partner who I know loves me and wants me to be happy and was willing and able to change. And so we did the work to figure out what equity looked like in our relationship. And I can tell you now, 3 years later, that we are happier than ever. Our kids are thriving. Our home runs like a well-oiled machine. And that took a lot of work. I want to say it took 18 months to get there. And it was well worth it. But it is not uncommon. And so if your wife is coming to you and she's saying, I'm burnt out by the mental load and I need you to do more, she's not just saying that because she wants you to do more chores. She's saying that because truly it can hurt your relationship. It can ruin your marriage if you do not participate in an equitable way in your home. And so what does that look like? What does it look like to change these dynamics? Well, we need to really assess in our homes what the work looks like. Because in most homes, the data supports this, women do a disproportionate amount of the work.
What she's leaving out is the fact that when a man falls in love and he's getting ready to get married, he wants to give the woman whatever she wants. So a lot of women, you want the 4 kids. You want the big house. You want to paint the fairy tale. The guy feels like, all right, I love my wife. Let me just go to work hard, and come home and be a provider. He's trying to provide for your fairy tale. So when you think he's not getting involved, it isn't that he's not getting involved. He's so stressed out trying to bring your dreams to reality, but your dreams, you just keep complaining about them. You should have stopped at baby number 1, got more settled. You seen the stress level. Baby number 2, baby number 3, baby number 4. I'm pretty sure you want all of this and you want him to step up and psychologically just try to keep up with your fantasy. The problem that you're facing, it's not his dream. He just feels like he has to be the provider and give to the woman that he loves, which is what most men want to do. What she should have did, work part-time to take care of your kids.
They just do. They do more of the cooking and the cleaning and the laundry and the childcare while also working full time. And men have more time for things like their hobbies, like golf, for example, or just working out, running a marathon, right? And so we need to have hard conversations about what our time looks like. what our labor in the home looks like, what is invisible labor. We have to talk about these things. And when we don't, the alternative is that you no longer have a marriage, or you don't have a happy one at least. And so I share this story because I don't think I'm alone in this experience. And I want people to know that there's hope, and that if you have a willing and able partner, you can change this. You can absolutely change this dynamic.
She's got the house, the kids, the husband women say they want, but apparently she's burnt out, and now the internet is in full-blown debate. You could feel the frustration, but also, where was the energy in the last 16 years? Sis, did you marry a husband or a butler? Because he sounds like he's doing everything and still catching the heat. She says perfect husband, but feels like a ghost in her own home. Fellas, that's when you realize it ain't all about what you do, it's about how they feel, even if it doesn't make sense. This is starting to sound like she's mad at life, but taking it out on the one person who's been holding her down. If your husband is doing the dishes working full time, and still working full time and you still feel unseen, that's not a husband's problem, that's your problem. This whole rant has modern marriage written all over it, where men are expected to do it all and still somehow be the emotional support therapist too. Now, this is the key moment, because when a woman says, I need help, she's not always talking about the help with the dishes. She's talking about mental load, the emotional labor, the stuff that doesn't get spoken about until there's a meltdown in the kitchen. But here's where it gets real. This is what happens when communication dies slowly over 16 years, no check-ins, no therapies, no timeout button. I'm just fine until boom, I feel invisible on camera in front of 2 million strangers. And now the man who's been showing up every day is going viral for being seen, for not being seen. To all my fellas watching, this is why you gotta pay attention even when it's quiet, because women don't explode out of nowhere. It builds, and then the ladies sometimes it's not your man that's the issue. It's the pressure y'all are putting on yourselves trying to be everything and blaming the person who's actually trying. Was she right to vent, or is it just another case of perfect on paper, miserable in real life? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, because I break down these situations with no filter every single day.